Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another online battle for Seven Kingdoms Total War Game of Thrones modification. So we are back and this time we have a pretty interesting two-part scenario. So basically the first part of this scenario, which is a battle we're watching right now, is kind of very much a what-if scenario, and it obviously is probably pretty unlikely that it would have happened. However, it's still kind of cool to see something different play out. So this is going to be a battle between Jaime and Tywin Lannister. So yes, Tywin is still alive, and what I kind of like to tell myself is that Cersei found out about the death of Joffrey and that Olenna poisoned him early on before Tywin even died. And she managed to convince Jaime to lead an army against Highgarden to go ahead and reap the revenge against the Reach. And Tywin obviously doesn't want this to happen. He wants the realm to be secure. So Tywin turned up with his army to try and dissuade Jaime to actually attack. However, Jaime, being so kind of under Cersei's thumb, decided to fight his own father in this battle. So it should be really exciting to see these two armies clash. And the second part of this battle is the Siege of Highgarden. So maybe Tywin, after winning this battle, feels really distraught and goes to try and take over Highgarden. Or maybe Jaime wins and goes after Highgarden to reap his original goal. So if you guys want to see that second episode, then make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys really want to see it and you guys drop, I think, let's say 250 likes on the video, I will go ahead and record that. And if not, don't worry, we can just move on to something else, a different scenario or something like that. So yeah, 250 likes on the video and I will bring you guys the next Siege of Highgarden, following on from this story. And again, if you want to see more story battles like this, do let me know in the comments down below. So we're going to go play and we're going to run through to see what both armies are bringing. So we do have the army of Tywin Lannister moving up, very nice and formal right now. He has a pretty elite force making its way over to Jaime, and Jaime's army is a little bit more disorganized. However, he's currently forming up. I guess he didn't really expect for his father to be here and was in marching column. So we look at the forces of Tywin. We can see that on his front line he has a bunch of these Lannisport levies along with the men-at-arms longbows. Behind that he has some men-at-arms, so kind of like the medium tier Lannister infantry. Then as we continue to go back, we have the elite Lannister sword infantry. They're followed by the elite Lannister spear infantry, and then some pikemen as well, along with the Lannister cavalry as well. So Tywin is bringing a pretty deadly army to this engagement. Jaime obviously has his catapults because he was expecting a siege battle to be on his hands. You can see some of his levies moving forward. So on his front line, he is more spearmen, so he's going to go for much more of a defensive build in this battle, trying to hold off Tywin. So the lions are at each other's throats in this engagement. Behind that, he has more spearmen, then a lot more pikemen, and then finally his guardsmen infantry, which I think are being waited to give the order to form up. Because yeah, you can see Jaime is really rushing to make his position, known, and he obviously was not expecting this battle. As you can see, the guardsmen finally forming up. It does also look like Tywin has brought more knights to the battle. Yeah, Jaime, by the looks of it, only has 5 knights, whereas Tywin has 6. So that's going to be very telling. And he also has a lot more missiles as well. But obviously the artillery, I imagine, will be in range very, very quickly. So this is kind of like a really cool scenario, and I definitely want to do more scenarios like this in the future. So if you guys have any good ideas, or you have replays with your friends yourself, do send them in to me over on my Discord. The link will be in the description, because yeah, the more cool scenarios like this, the better, as we do get our first little volley of artillery, and by the looks of it, they're coming down to rain hell onto the archers, which is a smart move because archers can do a lot of damage. So being able to kind of kick off this fight with a good old missile skirmish off is pretty decent. Obviously, being able to get some catapult hits on the central parts of the infantry would be better. But for now, I think the ammunition is going to be just raining down on these archers. You can see the devastation already. If any shots make it onto this infantry, that's going to be pretty crazy. A nice move here by Tywin, throwing up his knights, and he's going to get some really nice charges off onto the backs of these archers. Tywin showing his superior battle experience right here, throwing off the archers, and that's going to be a devastating blow for Jaime Lannister's forces, just losing all of his missiles. Tywin can definitely decide just to sit back and allow this to happen. However, his knights are going to be getting countercharged right now. It's kind of hard to tell who's who. Does it even show? Yeah, it's really hard to tell who's who right now, but we can just see the Lannisters. I think this Lannister sigil was a lot darker than the other one. But yeah, you can see that both forces are just sending them back. And Tywin definitely did lose a lot of horses in that engagement. So even though he managed to slaughter a lot of the archers, The cavalry, kind of got exchanged a little bit. But Tywin isn't going to be sitting back and allowing this to happen. He is going to be pushing up his main infantry line now. A bit too far ahead of his reinforcement line. But maybe he's just looking for his swordsmen just to simply break through the Lannister front line. Or I guess I should say Jaime Lannister's front line. Because again, his front line is pretty much just a lot of spearmen right now. And these spearmen might not do as well against the heavy swords. The artillery, oh, look at these explosions, though. Holy crap, that just devastated the ranks of Tywin Lannister. He lost like over 200 men in just that one volley. And if he's not careful, the next shot will just do even more damage. My God. Jaime's preparing his front line now of Lannister spearmen. They're forming up ready to take this. Their halberds go down, their spears go down. These are just weaker halberds as well. Doesn't look like he's going to decide to actually countercharge with some more infantry as well coming in on this left flank with the levy units. These guys are going to be getting cut down pretty quickly, though. You can already see some heads being pushed back. Yeah, you can definitely see, I imagine these more elite soldiers are going to be holding. Tywin is not going to be sitting down as another huge artillery hit gets a direct hit there. You're going to see Tywin pushing round his cavalry right now, round the flanks, as again another just revolting artillery hit comes in. Burning so many soldiers. That's disgusting. But yeah, you're going to see Tywin moving around his cavalry on all the flanks. The front line for Jaime is starting to rout, but granted, that is just crappy infantry, so you can't really expect them to do too much. Jaime has dispatched his weaker levies on the front line, and they're going to be more of just a force just to slow these guys up. As you can see, the men-at-arms for Tywin just cutting them down. And there we go. Pretty much the entirety of Jaime's front line has now been broken. The archer fire is also coming in to help out. But now Jaime does have his second line ready. And these guys are much more elite. He's pushing up his pikemen as well. If I was Tywin having that missile advantage, I'd be trying to focus down these pikemen as best as I could. Some of the levies also do decide to come back. Is Jaime going to be trying to do like a battle of the bastards tactic? This is actually a really smart tactic right here. Yeah, he's doing like a battle of the bastards tactic. The pikemen act as a superior shield wall. This is really, really smart. Having the pikes slide forward just as like a superior kind of more defense. This does mean that Jaime's spearmen don't have a lot of maneuverability because they have pikes either side of them. However, the pikes are going to be adding a much greater defense to this battle. This is really, really smart here, and if he has the manpower to do that, that's awesome. It literally is just like the Battle of the Bastards, as we see Lannister soldiers versus Lannister soldiers going at one another. Obviously, Tywin on the right, Jaime on the left-hand side. The cavalry-wise, who's coming out on top of the cavalry? I guess it's kind of hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure that Jaime has lost his cavalry engagement on this right flank. But maybe not. Oh, actually, maybe he's won it. I think he's actually won it on this right flank. Oh my God, this is looking really good for Jaime. His artillery has caused a lot of damage. Tywin is just waiting to deploy more men, and Jaime being able to have a really defensive line is just helping him. If we just go down the battle line really quickly, you can really just see the damage which these pikes are doing. Jaime came prepared for this battle. I thought he came kind of a bit off guard, but we can really see the strength of this tactic coming out, showing, he is a warrior after all. And maybe Tywin is going easy on his son and not pushing his full strength to the battle. But it does look like that the forces of Tywin are pretty much spent on that front line. Obviously, they have all these reserves, and maybe what they're planning on doing is trying to use their archers just to clump up the enemy forces. Jaime's actually also engaged as well in horse combat right now. He's actually fighting some of the Lannister knights who have made their way through the battle lines. Let's see if we can actually see Jaime on the battlefield. Obviously, he has his own custom model. He should just be without a helmet, so he should be pretty easy to spot. But I definitely always have trouble finding these custom characters in the midst of battle. But he is definitely in here somewhere. He should be pretty easy to see just because his blonde hair would stick out. But I honestly cannot find Jaime anywhere. Maybe you guys can spot him on like a Where's Waldo? Yeah, I honestly cannot see him one bit. The artillery is actually getting some more shots off, going over here on this left flank and getting another oh my god, that artillery, man, has been brutal. The balance of power is still extremely even, though, as the Lannisters do push up their final kind of more elite vanguard. And you can definitely see the front line of Jaime Lannister has been ruined besides of his pikemen. Besides his pikemen, his spear infantry line is devastated. The archer fire, the heavy infantry from Tywin has definitely proved its worth, and it's going to be up to Jaime to reform as best he can. And it does look like Tywin's going to do some smart stuff here and really just put pressure on these flanks. Tywin also has a reserve guard right here as well. Yeah, Tywin still has his pikemen he's yet to deploy in this battle, which is surprising. We're actually going to get some knights charging in onto the flank of Tywin's forces here. They are going to immediately be focused down by the missile fire. The archers are using the last couple arrows they have remaining to focus that down.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
We are going to be getting some more soldiers moving in here, though the Javies are actually pushing up now, trying to break through this. I mean, the pikemen, though, are just surely going to be way too strong to even care about this. Yeah, there's a few kind of like routed men-at-arms units right here. And we have a big push on this far right flank as well. But again, this is just an impenetrable Lannister shield wall right now. I really don't see how this is going to be broken down with the support of the pikemen as well. This just looks like it's way too strong to be broken. I mean, they're going to be trying, obviously, but it's going to be hard to do so. See some of the cavalry actually moving on. I can't believe all of Tywin's cavalry has been killed. Considering Tywin had such an advantage of the cavalry, it's really surprising that he did manage to get beaten back. But Tywin himself is going to go charging into battle. As we go slow-mo, we can watch Tywin himself there with his awesome looking cape leading the soldiers forward. And he's going to go in and hopefully try and finish off the rest of these forces. He does have a very good right flank as well. If he just pushes in this right flank, he can completely overwhelm the Lannister forces. You can really see the balance of power is extremely even still. Both sides not giving an inch. These pikemen just seem to be advanced up, which is exactly what's happening right now. And then I think Tywin definitely has a really good chance of winning this battle. He currently outnumbers Jaime. He also just killed all of Jaime's cavalry. So Jaime's going to be kind of suffering a little bit. And if he can just break one of these flanks, then it's like kind of just, you know, cave him in from either left and right flank. And I think this battle could still go either way. I'm not too sure about the Battle of Highgarden though. Who's going to come out on top of that? Because surely the Lannister army is depleted. There's 10,000 Lannister troops just fighting to the death in this battle. So I'm really going to be curious to see what Tywin is doing. I guess he's going to wait until his infantry do come up. He's also going to try and break now. I think, okay, this is where we go. This is where Tywin's going to commit his last couple forces. Jaime's might even go after his own father to slay him with his unit of knights. Jaime's just holding the front line. And I think this is where we're going to see the entire force of Tywin just be committed. His pikemen is still really far back, and that's a large portion of his army. That is what, 750 men just waiting back here right now. Maybe even no, 800 men including them levies just waiting to be committed. You can see the forces of Jaime actually getting beaten back here by the levies which are up here, or by the more elite guardsmen of the spears. Just see them throwing the enemy forces to the ground. As well as that, they're also kind of getting a nice little flank off on these pikemen. And obviously, you know what happens when people get flanked of a pikeman. Oh, that dude just impaling these pikemen with their spears. This is slaughter, especially with the flag bearer as well. This is some good damage if a pikeman can form up here. Now, I just don't know who's going to win. It does look like the complete right flank has gone, though. Apart from over here, and you can see Tywin coming in. Tywin actually getting a really good charge off against Jaime's infantry, and that's going to probably slaughter them. The spearmen should come in and try and engage. I'm surprised Jaime hasn't dispatched his own cavalry knight unit to go end this battle. If he kills Tywin, the battle is over, that is for sure. As the last couple pikemen do turn up, he is going to be committing some of his spearmen to the battle, but he's still going to be holding that thick line right there. Tywin is just slaughtering a lot of these troops with obviously the support of his longbowmen as well. Tywin's going to run them down. And again, I'm just really surprised we're not seeing Jaime moving yet. We also see Tywin's forces here managing to break what remains of the Lannister, or the Jaime Lannister left flank. He has still committed some more men here. He just needs to get around the back of these. With his pikemen turning up any seconds now, I think this battle is looking pretty good for Tywin. However, Jaime does still have a lot of soldiers still left remaining. And it's just whether who can use their cavalry, their general unit a little bit better. We all jump back in on Tywin. Tywin is obviously still alive. Try and see if we can spot him on the battlefield. But again, he's just pushing in deep into the infantry line. And that's going to be killing a lot of them. Yeah, you can see the right flank is completely caved in now for Jaime. He still has his pikes left remaining. And obviously, Tywin's unit is still so weak. I would just commit Jaime to that battle. And I think he could come out on top easily. The pikemen do form up. We're going to triple speed it just to see what everyone's doing right now. See where the units do, if they do move into place or not. Because at the moment, it's just a straight up scrap. And they've actually managed to break through on this left flank with a unit of levies. Have come charging in, and they're just going to come right round the flank. And if they can get a rear charge off on these pikemen, which is exactly what they do. Wow, this is going to be game changing right now. If Tywin pushes up his pikemen and just engage the front line, I think he has this. I think Tywin might have this. Jaime is still just sitting there overwatching the battle. He needs to get charges in. He needs to come flying into this battle. If he comes into the side of these levies, they're going to be done for. That is for sure. As we do have the levies. Yeah, just look at Jaime just sitting there. Jaime, move for God's sake. Charge them. They'll be done for. The pikemen are having to turn around, but the pikemen are suffering right now. As both sides do go toe-to-toe in this back rank. The pikemen are now being pushed up, so the pikemen are hopefully going to be outperforming. And the good thing about Tywin pushing up his pikemen is he can deal with these spearmen without having to worry about the enemy pikes because they're so much further back. You know, their pikes reach here, but obviously the Tywin Lannister pikemen can now just put themselves down. You can see here we go. Pikes down, boys. And they can slowly push forward and just take care of the front line a little bit. Tywin is also moving back into more infantry, but he does also have, so that's actually Jaime's infantry coming into the battle. He has managed to get some of these guardsmen around the flank, and that can just end the enemy. Finally, Jaime Lannister is moving. I think he's going towards his father ranked, or is he coming in to kill this? He's coming in to kill this unit of levies, and you're just going to see that number go down, as well as going after his father. Jaime, you absolute madman. So we can see Jaime Lannister right here, leading the forces forward. And Tywin just in the back. Tywin is making a beeline for Jaime Lannister right now. Jaime is obviously the much better fighter. I imagine this is before he lost his hand. Or does he actually have... Oh, wait. Hold up. Have they actually made it so his hand is gold or not? Oh, no. He just has a glove on. Okay, don't worry. I was going to say, is his hand actually gold? Because that would have been insane. Tywin is getting close. I think he wants to try and capture his son more than anything. I don't think he really wants to have his own son killed. Obviously, Jaime is his heir after all. Wait, where's Tywin gone? Has Tywin died, or has Tywin just moved out somewhere? Did I just miss Tywin dying? No, I would have said it, surely. Yeah, I can't see his body anywhere. Okay, I think Tywin is still alive. I just wasn't paying attention and he moved somewhere. They're going to be dropping and losing a lot of cavalry right now as his unit does retreat. Yeah, you can see Tywin is still alive. So is Tywin running from the field of battle? And is Jaime going to chase him down and kill him? Or capture him? Or what? I imagine Jaime would just try and capture him. The pike infantry are still holding. The bands of power is still so goddamn even though. And look at these pikes going toe-to-toe with one another. Yeah, Jaime has gone off and got a really good charge off onto the enemy line. I imagine he's going to capture his father. You can see Tywin is completely surrounded right now. Some soldiers. Oh, Tywin is surfing his horse. Oh, and he's died. Tywin was a bit too cocky there, trying to be a Dothraki. I like to think that Jaime just captured Tywin and didn't actually kill him. But I think that's going to be all she wrote for this battle. The pike line is still very fierce. But then Jaime's just going to come flying into the side and routing the rest of Tywin's forces. More pikemen just reforming a little bit. And here we go. Jaime moving in. I mean, Jaime could run directly onto these pikes, Jaime. Don't be a fool. Oh, the pikes just get down in time. At least on some of it, you see so many of the soldiers go flying. Jaime himself is in a pretty precarious spot. And Jaime actually goes down in this battle. Again, I like to think because this is a story battle, Jaime is just simply a bit wounded. But that was devastating. He managed to kill a lot of the pikemen. But still, he gave his own life. I like to think, though, he just maybe got, like, you know, stabbed in the thigh and it went through his armor a little bit and he's still alive down there. Whereas until it doesn't really show that. So what we got left to see, we're going to see the cavalry. The cavalry actually routs. Is Tywin going to win? Is Tywin going to win the battle? I'm not sure, because losing that cavalry is pretty huge. And now it's just a pike off, so we can literally just triple speed it. We are going to see some of these guys moving down. Whose unit is this and why is it not doing anything? Finally, it's doing something. If this is Jaime's unit of infantry, I think the forces are going to win of Jaime Lannister. Yeah, I think Jaime's definitely got this with these guardsmen. As long as the guardsmen can perform. But again, I guess it depends who these pikemen are. These are Tywin's pikes. So at the moment, this battle could still go either way. If these guys rout, then I think, yeah, I think Jaime has this battle. But it was very close. They still obviously have to deal with these guys and deal with these guys. But they can pretty much cave in every flank. Now, yeah, they can cave in every flank. Pikes are still going pretty fierce at one another. But, I mean, as soon as these guardsmen come into the back, then there's nothing that they can do whatsoever. They're also going to charge these guys, and their morale is extremely low. Yeah, here we go. The last unit of Tywin Lannister is still bravely holding on, and I think they actually did pretty good. They managed to kill a lot of these forces, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, as we do have the guardsmen coming in, and you can see them getting around the back flanks. We'll go back to normal speed just for a little bit to see them coming around the sides. And the pikemen just aren't meant for this type of close quarter combat. The pikemen are meant to obviously keep the enemy at a bit of range. Are there some javelins coming in or what? I feel like there's some javelins coming in. But I don't know where from. Maybe it's just for pikemen. I think it's just for pikemen glitching out. And you see the morale is dropping very, very quickly. So yeah, there we have it. So it does Jaime Lannister is going to be victorious. He did get wounded, but he did manage to capture his father and kill the force. So now his next target is to move on to King's Landing. Now, if you guys want to see the siege of, not King's Landing, sorry, of Highgarden, get revenge for killing Joffrey. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know you want to see it. And also, let's try and get this video to 250 likes. That would be absolutely amazing. So we will just wrap up this battle as Jaime does finish off the last couple units. I think this is pretty, you know, obviously having these guardsmen is going to be enough to just to rout everything. It is kind of hard to tell who's who, but I have a rough idea. Good battle though, definitely a good battle. Some fun engagements right there. And there we go, Jaime Lannister does win. So let's go ahead and see who got the most kills. So Jaime got 300 kills, but his father Tywin outdoing him with 400. Very nice. We have the Tywin Lannister cavalry doing pretty good. Then we just have the catapults for Jaime though. Over 650 kills is just a lot. That definitely turned the tides of this battle. So Tywin Lannister has been defeated. Make sure to drop a like and a comment if you enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.